next episode of JASCHAT. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jo. Today we're going to be talking about positive things from that we've learned from having a child with autism.
Yep.
So one of the most obvious ones is that for us as parents, they do have a wonderful effect on the siblings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've found that my Patty is so patient and compassionate and sensitive and caring towards other children, as well as Daniel.
Other children all round, or other children with special needs?
Special needs children, but also the younger siblings of his friends.
Okay.
So I've had one mum come up to me and she goes, Jo, how did you get Patty to be like that? Because he was like, oh, watch out for so-and-so, don't go too fast. And she goes, I want his big brother to be like that. And I said, seriously, I don't know. I don't know, it just happened.
Yeah.
But then I thought, oh, how did it happen? And I realised it's because of Daniel.
Yeah.
Because he's had to show patience. Obviously, we explain to him why. So we say, look, Daniel views things differently, and that's taught him to be more accepting.
I think as well, in the sense of knowing what their triggers are even. So my kids can say, oh, that will be too loud for Beth, or oh, we can't watch that because it's a laughter show because she has an issue with sitcoms. So things like that they know are her issues, they just automatically know, as we do as parents, they automatically know that. And so they can preempt that a little bit with kids. So I know when my Bill started school, I remember the first day he came home and he said, oh, I think that such and such is on the spectrum. And I sort of laughed at him, really, Bill, like, what would you know? And then went and spoke to one of the aides at school and said, my Bill says this. She said, we think that too. He didn't have a diagnosis yet, this child.
Right.
But he can pick it. And he, as a consequence, he's now 13, he's at high school, and he has said that, some of his friends, most of his friends are quite quirky. He likes quirky kids. He's a quirky kid himself. He's not on the spectrum, but he's a quirky kid. And he likes the special needs kids, a lot of them. He's got a lot of friends that have got special needs, and he's great with them.
Well, I guess he'd have an empathy towards them as well.
And he just gets them. I think the difference between siblings of special needs kids is that not only because it's shoved in their face, but also they've taken the time to get, kids that don't have to live in the world of autism don't have to invest the time in understanding those kids because they only see them for a short period of time. So, Beth has had some lovely friends at mainstream school that have understood her and have been really good with her. But then there's been other kids that they've got other friends. They don't need to understand the way Beth works.
Yes.
And so they haven't taken the time to appreciate her. Whereas my other two, they appreciate and they celebrate if Beth does something really well. They're wonderful with her and with other kids. And I love that side of it. I think it's just lovely. So.
Well, if Patty wants to get up to another level on a computer game,
he
just goes, Daniel, please help.
Yeah.
And Daniel will get there. Oh, thank you, that's it.
Yeah.
But look, I noticed that Patrick is just like the sweetest kid to others. Sometimes he's a bit cranky with me, but I think that he's gotten some great benefits. You think that he's missed out a little bit. You start to feel guilty, but then I think, but he just gets to see a different side of life.
And I think, the missing out thing, I think we've overcompensated for our other kids because of Beth. So Bill especially, originally, he's got every gaming thing, which he pays for a lot of them himself now. He's not a spoiled kid though, like he doesn't act like a spoiled kid, he's a nice kid. But I think we made up for the fact that it was difficult for him because of Beth by giving him more, and more love as well. It's not just all things, it's us as well. But
but
so
when they're
conscious
younger,
of the fact.
all they want to think.
Yes, exactly.
Because when I used to take Daniel shopping when he was younger, because he is non-verbal, he'd never ask for anything. So I'd like practically force things on him. Do you want this or this?
Yeah.
You know? And he'd just go. But with Patrick, so when Patrick asked for something, I'm like, yeah, do you want two? Because I was just so excited to have him ask for stuff. So that's developed a bad habit now.
Yes, you've got to knock that out of you.
Yes, exactly.
Now, one of the things I love as well is how to look at things in different ways. So I've learned not to stop Beth from doing something just because I don't think she's doing it right. I remember her doing a jigsaw puzzle and me saying, no, you know, you're meant to do the outside bits first and then you fill in the middle bits and then and all of that. And then I saw that she did it much quicker than me in her own way. And I thought, why is my way the right way?
Correct.
Like, who says that the way I do it is always the right way? And she teaches me different ways of doing things. And well, now she can verbalise it, now that she's a bit older.
Yeah.
Not always she can verbalise it, but she can. And I think, oh, okay, I get that now. And it's quite hard to actually think you're wrong about your kid, you know, with the against your kids sort of thing. But sometimes she's right. And they're just they're ways that other people wouldn't think of it. And you know, they say that things like the wheel and you know, things wouldn't, inventors, most of them had Asperger's or autism. You know,
There was
not
so,
most of them,
yeah.
that's quite general,
Because they were so obsessed that they just kept going.
Outside the square, and that's the thing. They're not sheep, and they don't do things the way everybody does them, and that's how new things get invented, because they just think, no, you know, look at Temple Grandin with a cow machine.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, you know, like it's just she thought the way cows think.
Yes.
And Beth is she's very in tune with animals, and she will go to someone's house and she'll zoom in and talk to the animals ahead of the people, because that's who she's actually there to see. And she thinks of them as being like people. So she'll actually be watching something with the dogs and be saying, you know, well, do you want to dance or do you want to do this? And she'll be talking to the animals. So I love it. I think
That's
it's great.
cute.
Yeah. Do you want to go on with the next bit or?
Okay. So, what I love, talking of that, is Daniel behaves sometimes like he's in an actual movie. So, they're all water related, like Ratatouille, Flushed Away, and Paddington.
Mm-hmm.
So, in those scenes where they're in the water, he actually runs away from the water, or when Paddington floods the house.
Yeah.
And he's laughing his head off, like he's actually in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, Daniel, that's too cool. You're
Beth
so
used to
lucky.
do that with High Five, where she would stand in front of the television but face us. And I'd say, Beth, because she'd be doing all the actions and everything.
Yes.
And I'd say, Beth, you can't watch it. And then I would realise that it's because she was one of them.
Yeah, she's
And
there.
so she had to be facing in the same direction as High Five were.
Well, of course. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Daniel is actually part of all those movies.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That is very cool.
Yeah. So another thing is the little achievements.
Mm.
I think that I appreciate things so much more. Like things that parents take for granted. Us parents, we appreciate every tiny little thing
Absolutely.
that our kids do.
And not just with our special needs kids, but with our other kids as well, I think.
Oh, yes.
You know, like first poo on the toilet, first
Well, that's
everything,
right.
First everything.
When Daniel does a poo, I'm like, well done, Daniel. And Patty goes, what about me, Mum? It's like, yeah, good on you, you know. So, yes, we have to remember that we must encourage our other kids, that it comes naturally too.
But all those things though, like first words and probably in a way, like with you, Beth is our oldest, like Daniel is your oldest, and Beth also had selective mutism when she was younger. So you would have been the same, I would imagine, when Paddy first started to speak. You know, the excitement of your other child, oh, they're actually talking, and how well they talk, and you think, now it's really obvious that, you know, like they do things that you think, and now it's obvious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In hindsight,
that
that they had autism or whatever it was, but you don't actually think of it at the time.
Although when Patty wasn't making eye contact with me, I'd like Patrick, look at me.
Yeah.
And when he was younger,
Yeah, and I was noting here that it's saying, you know, like saying thank you without being asked, you know, and Beth has actually got lovely manners now, but it's taken a long time to drum it into her, but she does. She, you know, trying different foods, making friends. Making friends is a huge one. Cutting up their food. I still cut up Beth's food for her. You know, all of that.
I wish Daniel would eat food I could cut up for him.
Yeah.
You just never know what.
But even trying new foods, you know, like all of those things you really appreciate.
Well, yes, he did want to try some corn that I got from Nando's the other night, but it was the extra hot peri-peri one. So he goes to try it. Sorry, and then he's like,
and now we will try it again.
Exactly. So. Yeah, but he was so excited about it. He kept looking at it from different angles.
Could you try just getting a mild one?
Well, we did do that the next night.
Yeah.
And had absolutely no interest in it whatsoever.
Yeah, probably because it burnt the crap out of his mouth the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. But, you know, one burnt chicken nugget could put him off chicken nuggets for a month.
Yeah,
but anyway.
One of the things I love is having unconditional love and dependence, which is not a good thing to encourage, but let's just embrace it. You know, like Beth still holds my hand. We went to the school fete on Saturday of my youngest daughter, and one of my friends, because I haven't been driving since I had an operation, I haven't been driving for a few months, and my friend Bree has been driving Beth a little bit. She's been picking her up quite a lot. She's been picking her up from the bus and bringing her back to primary school, and I've been getting a lift for the kids back from there. And I was saying, oh, where's Beth? Because we were at the fete and there was lots and lots of people, and Bree said, she's right behind you. She said, she's something because you for years held Beth's hand. She said, she's attached to you by a string, so if she's not right in front of you, she's just right behind you.
That is so good.
She's just really, but I love it, you know, she holds my hand, and I mean, I don't have to worry about her as a teenager going out and getting pissed and sleeping with someone.
Yes.
She's just with me all the time, and I love it. It's draining, but I love it. You know?
Yeah, that's right. You know that she would prefer to be at home with you than out with friends.
Yeah, and you've just got to embrace that. That's part of the situation. So let's not go, it's really horrible, I would do this. Let's actually go, isn't that lovely that my girl's with me and I know where she is all the time.
Yes. And I know that I have a very intuitive relationship with Daniel as well. And I know certain things that he's feeling that my parents and my husband just don't get.
Yeah.
Which is very special.
Yeah.
And nobody else has it.
Yeah.
So in that respect, he's very dependent on me to be his mouthpiece. But then in a way, I suppose it gives me a sense of importance.
He's only 7.
8.
Sorry, 8.
Yeah, it gives me a sense of importance though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he tries to act like a teenager. On weekends, he won't get out of bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes.
Making new friends. We've made new friends.
Yes,
I love
definitely.
that. I love that. I run a support group. Even the fact that we chose our primary school, which is quite a way, about 15-minute drive from where we live, which is, I mean, we have moved a couple of times since then, but where we lived when we looked at schools was just round the corner from here. And we chose the school we did because it was off the main road, because Beth hasn't got good traffic sense at all, and I knew if she wanted to leave, she'd just walk out on the road. You know, she's not good with traffic. So we chose a gorgeous little, well, it's getting bigger now, but a school, I won't say where it is, but and it was fantastic. And due to that, obviously, I made friends through that school. So who are lifelong friends, you know, we're really close. So I've had a lot of support from some lovely people. So my whole life has sort of evolved around that. And I run my autism support group. I've made some really good friends at the school that Beth is at now as well. And that's all come about because of that. And as I was saying to you earlier, friends that get you, you know, like just, I've made friends through my blog like you know, and you just automatically, it's just, you know, that's it now, we're friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's lovely.
God help me. I totally agree. And some of the best people I've met are the mums from the school.
Yeah.
Because, you don't even have to tell them. If they look at you and you look tired, they'll just come up and give you a hug or something.
Yeah.
You know? So.
All right, let's. We've got two people that have sent things in. So which one would you like to read, Kirsty or Jen?
Well, Kirsty from Dandenong Ranges tells us she's
such a great contributor, isn't she, Kirsty? I just have to say thanks, Kirsty.
Kirsty, thank you very much.
Every time. She's been fantastic.
She's great. Kirsty, she's going to want the credit on the show soon. Kirsty from the Dandenong Ranges tells us that she's learnt that her daughter is an amazing judge of character. Things that they as parents don't see straight away are seen by their daughter, and these things will come to light eventually. She's also learnt that there is a reason behind every behaviour. It may not be apparent, but as Jade's communication increases, they see why things happened. She too mentioned the great sibling relationships, not only with Jade, but with each other, and the appreciation of little things.
Yep. And Jen from Upway shares her son's wonderful sense of humour, something that my Beth shares. She's got a great sense of humour. After a particularly bad day at work, she came home and was having a bit of a whinge to her husband. She said out of the blue, a deep voice, her son's 14, so his voice has changed, sang out, "Some people are just assholes." I have that with Beth too. She's so funny, but she can be very inappropriate at times. Not so much now, because I've told her you can't say that woman's fat or whatever it is. Being very blunt when clearly telling the truth. Asking very publicly a public occasion if a friend of mine was a lesbian.
Was she?
She was a lesbian.
Well,
and she went up to her and said, "Is it true that you're a lesbian?" Luckily my friend is terrific, and she didn't know what to say because she wasn't, and I just said, "Yes, Beth, it is true," and then she went with it and said, "Yes, it is true." But or another friend of mine who her husband he's got a tooth missing, and not that makes any difference with it, but it was just amusing, the look he was sort of standing there and he was like this, and he had a beer, and she looked at him and she said, "You're an alcoholic." He just laughed and he said, "Yeah, probably." So, they're very blunt, but...
yeah, they are. Sometimes I think, oh, should we do a disclaimer?
Yes.
We had a new dog washer start, and, they all go, "Hi, Daniel." "Hi, Daniel." I'm like, and they all sort of go, "He's not saying hello." I'm like, "Oh, he's autistic." And they go, "Oh, that's cool, yeah." And so I think that after that, everybody just loves me extra.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, he knows good people.
Yeah.
He's my cousins, I said, "Look, if you bring your boyfriends around, if Daniel starts to hang out with them and want to hold them and hug them and stuff, it means they're good people." So my niece and my cousin...
So he's like an asshole whisperer.
Yeah.
You can pick him.
My niece and my cousin, because if they have the patience for Daniel, it means that they're very kind-hearted.
Yeah.
And they were just so good with him, and he was all over them, climbing all over them because they're both really tall. Loved it. And my cousin goes, "Oh God, I'm so relieved because I was really nervous."
That's funny.
I know. But yeah, that is the test.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
Well, if anyone's got anything else that they would like to add, you can drop us a line at chat@jaschat.com, or go onto our website, which is jaschat.com, and let us know, or our Facebook page. That's public, so a few people write things on there, which is good. We have a bit of a discussion on there at times.
Yes.
So so thanks for watching again.
And
Hope you're
see you
enjoying
next
our
time.
show.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.